Hi everyone, this is Jen, and what I'm going to try to do here today is build a house kind of the way I would normally build it, my usual process from reference pictures that I found on the web. And I'll start with the building and then proceed to decorating and landscaping and then maybe even play test it. But I am kind of a slow builder. There's a lot of decision making involved, and I'm just using this house as inspiration, so I'll have to improvise a little bit because I don't have a floor plan or anything like that. So I'll be using the pictures to kind of come up with the house. So if you bear with me, there might be some, quiet spaces and a lot of hemming and hawing as I try to figure out what I want to do. But thanks for coming along with me on this adventure. So I've chosen this 30 by 40 lot in Willow Creek. I don't have any more beach lots left in Windenburg. This house would look really nice over there, kind of with the beachy setting. So, when I upload it, that might be a great place to put it, but my lots are all taken up over in Windenburg. So I thought I would choose this. It's kind of the next best setting for a coastal feel. We have the water in the background, that little gazebo, and it's a nice size lot. It's not too big, not too small. I think it'll work pretty well for this house. Uh, I posted a few pictures on my Tumblr to see what people would be interested in seeing me build, and the Nantucket family home is the one that got the most votes. The other ones got a lot of votes too, so it was actually pretty close. And who knows, maybe I'll want to build those two eventually. But for the first one here, we're just going to focus on that Nantucket house. And one of the first things I do when I start building is I just kind of look at the house and I think about what are the things that I like the most about it? What are the features that I really want to make sure that I can include? When I look at this house, what I like most about it is it has a very interesting layout and roof line. It's not just a box, and I actually don't mind building just box houses either. It's kind of a nice challenge to just take something that's a box and try to make it look, interesting. But one thing that drew me to this house was it doesn't look like a cookie cutter house. It has a lot of different elements to it and different roof lines and that kind of thing. I also really like the it just has that sort of fresh traditional feel to it. Um, it's strange to put fresh and traditional together, but I think you probably know what I'm trying to say. It's also I love that archway in the front with the white picket fence. I'm really drawn to that sort of crisp white coastal cottagey kind of feel. So that's definitely one element I want to make sure I get in there is that white fence and the archway. So I think what I'll start doing is I'll place. I know that there's that trellis in the game if I can find it. I think it was in Get to Work. I use my filters a lot because I can never remember where to find things. No, it wasn't Get to Work, it was Get Together. So we'll filter and I'll just kind of look for that. Hopefully it won't take me too long here. Here it is. So I thought that might work for the archway. There's also in the gates, let's see, I have to take my filter off quick. There's a green archway, but I think I want to keep it white, this white wood. And there's also, well, there's this one too that might work nicely. So we'll just kind of play with it. And that one has the little lamp on the top too. That might work really nicely. So I'm going to draw a little fence. Now this seems probably kind of a weird way to build a house to start with the fence, but to me it's kind of like sets the scene. So it'll help me continue. It kind of will be my anchor. I know I'm going to want, there's probably going to be a lot of house back there, and I want room for backyard. So I'll just move this up a little bit. And, we can move everything later on too. That's the one really cool thing about Sims 4 is that you can move the entire lot around if you want. So Build a little fence here. And I can see right now, like, I might want to just use that other gate because, well, I could move this over. I don't want to have a gap. That would work. So, I don't know, what do you guys think of this? I like that, but, and maybe I can use that in the backyard or something. I want to see what it looks like with the gate too. And this is what I do when I build. It's just a lot of, let's try this and let's try that and see what I like best, which is why it takes so long. I want to try that gate, and I think I do like that a little better. Just not that I'm trying to build an exact replica of the house in the picture, but it just kind of captures that feel of it a little bit more than the trellis. So we will start with that little gate, and I think I want to bring this in just a tad. We'll just make it symmetrical for the moment. So the other thing I really like about this house is the part back here, like the main entryway, is just sort of your basic, it's a very basic house shape. And this may be a little bit difficult here. I want to try to get the proportions right, and I kind of struggle with this in Sims 4, well, in all the Sims games I have, because the windows in the game are just a little bit narrow, narrower than real life windows. You know, I would love for this window to just be a little bit wider to match the one in the picture, but that's okay. We will start with this for now. And in the picture, this is another thing that bugs me, is that we'll want to have this column here. I'll just use this one for now. I don't know if that's what I'll end up using. But if you see in the picture, the column is in between the two windows. And I would love to be able to center this column in between the two, but I can't really. But I really want to have the windows with the shutters. So it's kind of one of those compromise things where, you know, what's more important, the column being centered or having the windows with the shutters. So I will keep the windows with the shutters, and we'll just work on another, we'll have a slightly different column layout than the one in the picture. You know, maybe something like this, or I don't know, that gets to be too many columns, and I'm not a fan of having a column right in front of a window so that when they're looking out, they just see a column. So let's just keep that for now. I will just do the top story quick. This is kind of how I do this, is I pick the elements that I want to see if I can reproduce, and I start with that, because if I can't even kind of get the feel of the house right off the bat, then I usually will just drop the project and go on to something else. Like already I'm not happy with those windows, so I might just use the same ones on top and bottom. I kind of like, as a general rule, like to use bigger windows on the bottom than the top. That's just what I see in most of the houses that are out there. I'm going to hit F5 here so that I can do quarter tile movement here. You know, this can look a bit boring if all the windows are the same size, but in the picture they are. So, and we're going to have a little roof over here, so that'll kind of separate them. And I'm just going to pop up here and just make my little roof. And the size of this could totally change, but I'm just trying to kind of get an idea of, you know, can I do this house? Will it work? Whoops, I don't know what I just did. Oh, accidentally raised the ceiling. Okay, so that's the basic shape. I'm going to drag the roof down. It's about there. I'm just eyeballing it, the angle. It's probably a little bit higher. I'm going to use my Alt key to click, and I can just raise it just a little bit. And I don't know, this seems a bit wide to me, but since I can't do single windows with shutters, and like I said, I really want to keep the shutters. I mean single tile windows. You know, I'd love to be able to put a window, like say here and here, but I can't do that. So at least not without custom content. I'm trying to build this all CC free. This will be a really small room, but which it's kind of concerning at the start, but there's going to be so much stuff over here, and then we'll probably add on to the back. I'm guessing this will be, like a living room of some kind. The entryway is actually over here, and I think it's hard to tell from the picture. I can't tell if it's set back. I think it's on the same level, but then if you look at the window above, it's set back a little. So I think just to make it a little more interesting, I will set it back a little bit. I always choose the wrong tool. And it looks like it's maybe about 4 tiles. And then that way we can do a double tile door, and then we'll do a double tile window up here. So I already know what window I want to use up here. It's the little one with the shutters because it matches. And then the door is a blue color. And what would be really cool is if we could sort or filter by width, so we could have all the 1 tile doors and then all the 2 tile doors, filtered separately. That would be amazing, but that's okay. For now, I will just look for a blue door, and I just know from using these and from building a lot and using these different doors which ones have a blue swatch. But you could also, I do this a lot too, is I'll go up to colors and choose blue, and it doesn't always work well. I've noticed that some swatches don't show up, even if like they are blue, for example, they don't show up in the blue all the time. But this can also be a way to notice doors or swatches that you didn't know existed that you kind of forget about. And I think, I did kind of like that door, but I just want to see what that would look like. I don't know, it's maybe just a little too simple. So I think I want to do this one, or maybe that one. Sometimes it really bugs me that these doors are so short. I mean, this is like the lowest, and the doors still look super short to me, but that's okay. You'll probably hear me complaining a lot during these videos because when I'm building, I'm always running into things that... So I'm just going to pick this one for now, so you guys aren't like, come on already. It looks like there's another part of the house on this side. So, and it looks like from the top, I mean, I can't see it, but it looks like, I have to clear my filter here, that it might come out a little bit more. So let's just do that. It seems like a good size. And it also has a second story. I think this is going to be a huge house. I can already tell. At least huge by my standards. I usually build pretty small houses. And I really wish I could see more angles of this house because I want to know like what kind of windows they have here. And does that mean that if you're up here and you're looking out these windows, you're basically seeing the roof of this other structure that's right here? Because this looks like it comes out... It almost kind of, there's like a little nook. I don't know if I like that. I might change that. And this is very narrow. Maybe just like one. Well, it does have a window with shutters, so we'll do one of these here. Yeah, I think this would look better if I just pull this back. And then that one has a roof on top. So one cool thing now is you can copy roofs, and that way you can get the same angle on all your roofs without having to eyeball it. And this actually is a much taller roof, so I don't think I want the same angle. But it just looks weird to me that it's covering up that second story, so I'm going to think about that for a second. What do you guys think would be best? Do we move this out? I think that is what I'll do. I'm going to move this out and make, maybe there can be like a little connecting room there. Maybe even a little further. So then down here, that way they're not, I mean, they're still kind of seeing roof when they look out, but it doesn't look quite so strange. Whoops, I always forget to choose that one. Here we go. And then we could put maybe some nice tall windows there or something. Maybe, I really love these new windows that came with Parenthood, but I won't use those for this build. I think I want to stick to ones with window panes because it'll match a little better. If I can find that one tall window. That's a single tile, there we go. Something like that maybe? I don't know, we'll see how that goes. This is like a rough sketch of what this house is gonna look like, and I might decide that I absolutely hate it and decide to scrap it. So, and this is, you know, what we can do is just copy this room. I love that feature, it's awesome. And then there is another, this kind of comes out this way. Whoops, started that in the wrong corner. Oh, that's weird, it made like a foundation. Is this one of those lots that has an uneven terrain? Oh goodness. This might get interesting. This one, I think I want to make 5 tiles wide, even though I can't put shutters on either side of these windows. And this is like something I would love to see in Sims 4 or Sims 5, if they do one, is separate shutters, like left and right, that you can put on any configuration of windows. So you could put it on single tile, double tile. It just would be so much more versatile. It would be awesome. So I'm going to move my fence right here. I think I want it, because like if you think about it, you want to go through the front gate, and you don't go directly to the window, or directly to the door. It looks like it goes off to the side a little bit. So I think I'll keep it like that. And there's also this little building over here. I have no idea what it is, but, and it kind of overlaps this one, but I don't know, I think I'd like to keep it, well, let's just do it the way it looks on the screen just for now, and we'll see how it looks. I don't even know how wide that building is. It's probably like some kind of carriage house or garage. And we'll just pop up here. We'll place a roof. Oh, I can decide which angle I want. This one. Resize it. Yeah, it doesn't look like much right now, but hopefully I can make it into a decent house. There's always this period of time when I first start building where I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. This is maybe not going to work out so great. And it's almost to the point of, you know, decorating to where I like still haven't quite decided if I'm going to keep it or not. So, but this one I will see if I can at least try to save it if it starts to look terrible. I don't know. Yeah, this is really strange to have this piece. Oops, what am I doing? Losing track of what I'm doing here. Yeah, I really wish I could see like the back of the house or something. But that's okay. I'll just have to deal with it. Alright, copying roofs left and right here. I'll drag that one in a little bit. Okay, that's fun. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I think this should be, I feel like this should be smaller, and maybe I should bring this out. I don't know. It just looked kind of weird to me. I don't know what happened there. That was really strange. Like lost my door. Whoa, what's happening to my game? Okay, well, that was odd. If I drag this over, will it draw my room again, or is it gonna be weird? Yep, it is gonna be weird. It really bugs me. I'm just gonna redraw the room. I'm gonna bring this out. I might keep that one kind of indented. And you know what I'm gonna do is, I think it looks kind of boring when you have just a door with all this space around it. So I'm just gonna add some of these windows on either side. I don't know if I like that. Because they're so much taller than the door. I do not know, people. Maybe. Is there a door that's like 4 wide? They're all like 3, aren't they? Whoops. Deleted my wall by accident. Yeah, like this would be good, but it's 3 tiles. And then if I could make this 3 tiles. Let's remove that. But then I can't have my cute little window with the shutters. That's okay. I keep saying that, don't I? That's okay. Because it's really okay. But I can't expand this? Okay. We'll pull these in a little bit. Because it makes kind of this cozy courtyard, and I think I was losing that a little bit by having everything a little too big. So we're going to make this smaller. Drag this over. And this is, really building the shell is the longest part of the process for me. Well, aside decorating, it can take a long time if there are a lot of rooms. But part of why this process takes so long is that I'm just really focus on trying to get the proportions right, and that is the hardest thing for some reason in this game. And so I can't use my little, now that I made it 3 tiles, I can't use this anymore because it's off center, and that bugs me. So yeah, those windows don't match. I do like it, but so I'm looking for other options. I can either put a single window in there or a triple, maybe something like that. I just don't know. It all looks like a little too huge. That might not be too bad, but it's still a bit too large for what I was trying to accomplish there. And here's where I might just have to like deviate from the plan quite a bit and just say, I'm gonna place what I like and make it work somehow, even though it won't look like the original house as much. Maybe just some maybe like triple windows like that. Yeah, it's just a little bit too much, I think. I wish I could put shutters on either side of that window. And also, I think this will look better once I get this other little roof on. Maybe that's what I need to do. Let's drag that out. All these roofs are wrong now. But it'd be probably smarter to draw these roofs after I'm done fiddling with the shell. But sometimes I just like to get a feel for how it's going to look with the roofs. So now you guys can see why it takes me so long to build. So then down here, I want to go up 1 level. There's this little jutting, well, it's not jutting, it's just a porch roof. Oops, I think I got it in the wrong level. How come it won't pop up to the top here? There we go. I don't know, sometimes it just acts weird. I'm gonna drag this all the way. Might as well meet this other roof here. And then we're gonna do the half gable. Of course, it's gonna delete my windows. Let's go like that. lower it first. And we'll extend it all the way. And we're going to get kind of a little notch over here. And if you hold the shift key and then drag on this eave, you can shorten it. And then I think I want to do the same roof, just shorter right here. And drag it out so it'll match for that little indentation there. That looks about right. I'm not sure about that door. I might just totally want to change that. I don't know, I feel like the house is just overall a bit too wide. Maybe I'm just being too picky. It's very possible. Let's just, maybe if I add the siding, that will help. Move these windows up a little bit. And I would love to use, I wish I could use some nice cedar shake siding like they have in the picture, but, oh, let's make this fence a bit longer while I'm here. Oops, gotta get the fence. That'll probably be all adjusted later, but anyway. Since I can't use the cedar siding because they don't have any in the game that's not, you know, custom, I'm gonna go for like something gray and weathered to kind of simulate that. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's looking a little bit too much like a farmhouse or a barn, and not a coastal house. Let's try. There is. This is just a regular gray. It's kind of a dark gray, but I don't know. That's way too dark, I think. Kind of like it, but I think white would be too stark. So I'm just kind of seeing, that might be okay. Just kind of seeing what options we have. There's that, it's kind of weird that this is in brick, but like there's this weathered gray. I like that, but it's just, it looks a little bit too somber. It makes the house look super old, but maybe if we add, I like these white columns that came with City Living, or sorry, Get Together, because I can use them to make trim really nicely. I could kind of like crisp it up a little bit. I need to turn on Move Objects quick. And did I actually place that column? I don't see it. Sometimes the columns fade out and then you can't really tell if you placed them or not. I don't know, that's looking okay. Not super crazy about it, but... And I think that uneven terrain is gonna bug me on this lot. For the next video, I might have to switch it to another lot. That's really strange. I'm just kind of placing these. I mean, I'm not, it's just kind of preliminary to kind of get a feel for how this is going to look with the siding. And that way I can use any, sorry, with the trim, that way I can use any siding and swap them out and see what I think. And before I go any further, I just want to place some more windows. I feel like this would be helpful. Oh, it's starting to look a little better. already got siding on that. Let's just place some of these over here. Just whoops. Oh, I didn't make that the same width. It looks like it would be. You know what? I just noticed that that the roof goes this way on that part of the house. Maybe we could do something a little bit different there. Maybe just some single windows. I think we'll drag this in. That way the roof can kind of be centered between those windows. I think that looks nice. Nicer anyway. There's nothing wrong with like asymmetry, but I think for traditional houses, especially, it's nice to have things be fairly symmetrical. So let's just do this up here. Yeah, this is definitely the phase of building where I'm like, just really not sure if it's gonna turn out or not, but we'll keep plugging away. And I'm really random when I build. Like I see elements in the picture and I just add them really quickly, even though I'm not to the, decorating phase technically yet. I sometimes will start decorating in the middle of building the shell because it's just, part of building the shell is figuring out the proportions of the rooms and things like that. And sometimes I can't tell if this room will be big enough until I start placing furniture. So I'll probably do a little of that here too as I try to figure out the layout. I don't know. Still not totally sure about this, but I'm going to be hearing that a lot. I'm very much self-doubting during the building process anyway. So let's just, I don't know what we're going to do with this courtyard in here. It looks like they have mostly shrubs and things like that, like a little pathway surrounded by flowers and shrubs. And then there's a little porch here. I just want to draw that just to kind of get a feel for. It kind of looks like they used slate flooring, slate tile or something, and there's a really nice, of course I won't be able to find it. There's this nice slate flooring that I think came with City Living. Maybe I'll have to filter. There's just too many packs now. Here it is. Shale, not slate. Shale. That might make a nice little path. Maybe it's a little fancy. I don't know. I might have to change that, but I'll just draw this for now. I think I kind of want this to come out more. Maybe not. Yeah, because I think it looks weird to just have it only go to that one bit. But anyway, that's good for now. We'll monkey with it later. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some work on that courtyard because otherwise it's gonna be really kind of blah. But we'll get to that. No idea what to put over here. I wish I knew what they intended for this area here. We'll just come up with our own ideas. And obviously there's gonna be a lot more house back here. Well, maybe not a lot more. Let's see what we have for now. It's getting there, I guess. I still want to try some different siding, I think. Let's see what else we've got. Let's look in the gray. Let's check the gray filter here. And just kind of see what our options are. Oh, there's this one too. I forgot from Spot A, I think. Yeah. It has the gray without. It doesn't look as weathered, so it doesn't look like such an old house. Kind of like that. And then we could do some slightly darker. That looks good. Not too bad. There's definitely going to be more messing around with it. There's going to be some more, a little bit more to do to get it looking the way I would like it to. I'm going to put a window up here just because I think it would look cute. There's not one in the picture, but I have this thing about like blank space. I am going to lower this, and that way they're not looking at a roof so much. They're still looking at it kind of, but, and I think I could put like a little window. No, I could do it here. That one is going to have either a double window, like a little shutter one, which is way too big, or I'll put maybe a little vent. I wish the vent were just a little bit smaller, but, or I could just leave that one blank. Yeah, I don't think it needs anything. That looks okay. This roof is jutting out a bit too much. So what do you guys think for the first pass? It's probably going to still change a lot as I figure out the layout and when I do the decorating and stuff like that. But that's kind of the basic idea. I do feel like maybe this should come out a bit more. You know what I might do is take these windows off and just put a shorter window. Whoops, jumping around a bit too much, sorry. Because I'm not on the right level. And that way it doesn't look so weird that the flooring doesn't go all the way. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for now for today. And we'll play around with it a bit in the next session and see how it goes. Thanks everybody for watching, and give me any feedback if you are like, that looks terrible. I love the siding. I hate the siding. Please start over. Anything you want to give me feedback on, feel free. Thank you. Bye.